Hi class, this video is just to help you to work on the homework of chapter 4. And the first question, I probably will skip some questions because if I see the answers are pretty straightforward, and I won't spend any time on these questions. Like the first one, these are just definitions, so I don't want to spend time on this one. The second one, if a firm's earning per share grew from $1 to $2 over 10-year period, the total growth would be 100%. But the annual growth rate would be less than 10%, right or wrong? So for this question, like, since we can just think this as time value of money question, present value we can just consider this is a $1, future value we can just think, oh, this is $2. But in the time value of money, you need to, your input should be -2. You can use Excel or you use calculator, but you should put -2 here. And ampere should be, or N should be 10-year. Okay, because it's asking for annual growth rate. And then the PMT should be 0, right? So you can calculate for the rate is how much. And then compare this one. This rate is greater or lower than 10%. And then you can answer this question based on this logic. Okay, so the next question, would you rather have a saving account pays 5% semi-annually, or one pays 5% compounded daily? So this is a pretty straightforward, right? So you should consider like 5% paid interest rate semi-annually. So it's each half of the year the interest rate is 2.5%. You can calculate the EAR. You can calculate the effective rate, but this one you don't have to think. But for this kind of questions, you can always calculate the effective annual rate and then compare. Because effective annual rate tells how much is the annual rate in a year, and then you can compare. Because the 5% pays semi-annually and 5% pays daily. So and the effective annual rate wouldn't be the same. So after you calculate the effective annual rate, and you can see which one is higher. Of course, it's 5% interest rate compounded daily, right? Okay, anyhow, so the next question is how much. So this one I don't need to spend much time in this one, right? So this one just anyhow, I'll just put down the information here. The PV should be 10,000, rate should be 10%, right? And then ampere should be 5, PMT should be 0, and then calculate for the FV is how much, right? So you can use the calculator or Excel to do that. Okay, so this one is asking for the present value is how much. So ampere is 20, rate is 7%, PMT is 5,000. No, FV is 5,000, PMT is 0, right? So how much is PV? This is a question mark, right? So this is this question. The third one. So this is an easy one, all right? So it's asking for how much is the rate. So the question mark should be the rate, right? So ampere is 18. Currently have 250. So this is your PV, and the FV should be -1 million, because the signs of direction should be the opposite. We talked about it in the previous class, and the question is asking you for rate, yeah, and PMT is 0. These are the input. You can use a calculator or Excel. The number 4 question, how long does it take to double your investment? So we've done this in the previous class, so we can just say PV is 1, future value is -2, for example. Or you can change the PV to 1,000, future value will be -2,000, and rate should be 6.5%. Ampere is a question mark. PMT is 0, right? So this is input. Yeah, let's see. 16. Okay. So you just need to change the rate, and also, like, let's say the first one, I won't put it down, but anyhow, the first one, 12% should be your rate. Ampere should be 5. 500 should be your present value, right? So PMT is 0. Calculate for future value. For the second one, now your rate should be 6% because it's semi-annual. The ampere should be 10 years, and the other inputs are the same, right? So 12% compounded quarterly for 5 years. So you should use rate and 12% divided by 4. And the ampere should be 5 multiplied by 4. For other inputs should be the same, right? So 12% compounding monthly, so the interest rate should be 1%. Ampere should be 5 multiplied by 12, right? So, and other information should be the same. Yeah. So this is not difficult. Okay. So for 17. So it's similar, but you just need to consider like different ampere, different rate. If it's compounded more frequently, so the rate should be lower, but the ampere should be bigger number, right? So anyhow, yeah, so again, you need to calculate the effective annual rate. For 7% compounded annually, the effective annual rate should be 7%, but for 6% compounded quarterly, so you should compare, like calculate the regional bank's effective annual rate and then compare with the 7%. Okay. Yeah. Well, the second one might be tricky. You think about it. If you need some help, you let me know. I will give you some help during the live session for this one. Question number 27. It's perpetuity problems. The equations, like I said, present value of the perpetuity question should be just directly using the cash flow received every year divided by the interest rate, because the $100 will be received every year. Now I want to give you some help on question 29. So this is the mortgage problems. Your aunt sold her house on December 31st, and she took a second mortgage of in the amount of $10,000 as part of the payment. And the quoted or nominal interest rate is 10%. It calls for payments of every 6 months beginning on June the 30th and to be amortized over 10 years. Now 1 year later, your aunt must inform the IRS and the person who bought the house about the interest that was included in the 2 payments made during the year. To close to the closing, what is the amount of interest that was paid during the first year? So yeah, this is a long question, so I'll use another I'll make another video for this one. In the next video, I will explain about this question.